Hey everybody and welcome back. Hope your guys' Wednesday is pretty good. I forgot what day it was. Alright, let's just jump right into the news. I'm not going to do a whole lot of E3 here because there's only really one thing I want to talk about from last night, and it's going to be the Pokemon Sun and Moon. So, yeah, I'll just jump right in. So apparently, Xbox One S reveal is ripping off Sony. Apparently. So if you guys don't remember, obviously the PS4 is smaller than the Xbox One. Now, this article said, basically, the Xbox One S is smaller than the Xbox One, like the original. That's it. The job's done. That's all they really had to do. Like, Sony nailed it with the PS2 and PS3 and made smaller versions and stuff. Well, apparently, according to this author, that's all they had to do was make the unit smaller. And they basically said, if you want to watch 4K movies, you can. That's if you own a 4K TV, it'll have 4K output. But they said down the line, Xbox Project Scorpio will not release until, let's see, late 2017. So, and if it's not going to lock out content right now, it might eventually in the future, just because of like what's going on and stuff. But it looks like it will be a little bit more powerful than the original Xbox One. But who knows? Because Scorpio has 6 teraflops of GPU and 4K gaming, true 4K gaming and high fidelity VR. But that, like I said, it won't arrive till late next year. Now, the S, I don't agree with this author. That's all they had to do. Like $300 is a pretty good price for the Xbox One S because the PS4 is still at $350, and now the S has HDR, but that's only going to be utilized if developers want to use HDR. I mean, it will look really pretty in games and stuff, but realistically, HDR is not going to be that big of a selling point for me. Either is the 4K video output kind of style, just not my kind of thing. So I don't know. It's a good price point. I mean, I'm glad they did it, but I'd much rather have them focus more on their next console. Like I said, I was talking or thinking about earlier today that with Microsoft and Sony trying to get these new consoles out next year, Neo and Scorpio, why don't they put this time and effort into building a new console instead of making like knockoff versions of your console? Like not knockoff, but like newer, updated, slimmer versions. Put this into like the next. Put this time and effort towards your next console, your big console like PS5 and Xbox 2, presumably. I don't know why they're focusing so much time on like just doing this small stuff here. Whatever. I don't know, guys. It's apparently, according to this author, though, that's all they had to do. So cool stuff. All they had to do was make the unit smaller. All right, so here we go. Pokemon Sun and Moon. They did talk about this last night, and this is what I really wanted to watch. It's the main thing. I know they announced Zelda and stuff, but that's not really my type of thing. Like, Zelda's pretty cool. It's not my kind of game. Pokemon is. I own my 3DS. I don't even know where it is right now. Oh, it's over there. It's on the ground. I don't really play it that much, but when I play it, I really get into it, and I just want to keep going. But apparently there's going to be new monsters. There's 3 new monsters. They're called Yungos, Piapik, and Grubin. Yungos is considered the normal type of Pokemon. Yungos is considered the loitering Pokemon. So, Pikabek, both considered a normal and flying Pokemon, but they were shown a wire form from the latest video teaser about Sun and Moon, saying it's a bug-type Pokemon. So, it looks like they're kind of going away from the traditional grass, fire, and water Pokemon. Not too bad, I guess. They have a Battle Royale, which is going to, like, include, obviously, the 3 monsters, but with Sun and Moon, it's going to release on November 18th in the United States. It's multiplayer, obviously. It enables the player to join a 4-way battle, which will be a free-for-all. So that sounds quite fun, actually, where you can battle with other Pokemon or other players against their Pokemon up to 4 people. So it's like a free-for-all. Like, if I want to go against him over there, I can, or if I want to go against him or the guy next to me, or however it's going to work. Sounds really cool. And there's going to be a new gaming experience. So they said basically unlike previous versions of the game, some features would even, like, you would not even notice. It give a glimpse on how the new Pokemon gameplay would look like, and it's obviously a darker screen edge when a player enters the trainer's field of view in the video game, whatever. So, like, when they enter, like, a gym, it's going to be, like, trainer's field, not gym, whatever. It's going to be, like, a darker edge around it to immerse you, possibly, if you put the 3D effect on. I don't know. I don't know. They'll also experience a different feel during battles, trainers will. And new animations have also been added. Camera angles as well as subtle animations were improved as well. So it's really cool to see like what they've improved so far with this. I mean, the graphics look pretty good and everything like that. I might pick it up. I don't know. I have Alpha Sapphire. I probably played about 6 to 8 hours total with it. I'm not really sure. I mean, that's kind of a lot, but it's not really. I mean, it is Pokemon after all, so there's that aspect of it. Sorry guys, video cut out there for a second. I don't know why I've been having issues, but I like using this program a lot better. Like I said, I had a lot of hours into Pokemon. I cannot wait. I might wait till after it comes out to buy it. I'm not sure. Because like I said, I played Alpha Sapphire. I thought it was 6 to 8, but in the time like the video was being weird and I cut out. I looked at my 3DS. I only played about 2 hours. 2 hours of Alpha Sapphire. I played Pokemon X a lot more than I played that. So I don't know if I'll even pick it up. I mean, I haven't even like got into Alpha Sapphire that far, but we'll have to see. We will have to definitely see what I want to do here. But Pokemon did look really good. The graphics look like they had a slight, teeny tiny upgrade with it, but we'll have to see what they do. It looks quite fun, but we'll just have to wait and see. All right, so I guess the PlayStation boss Andrew House was surprised by the Xbox Scorpio announcement. He said basically the point of confirming the existence of the PlayStation 4 Neo and the bare bones of the plan last week was not about disappointing the fan base who would obviously come to E3 with high expectations of all kinds of announcements. And from past experience, the worst thing you can do is disappoint and pull the rug away from people. That's why we went out last week and said, yes, it does exist, but don't expect to see it at E3. I think it was the right thing to do. I can kind of agree with him there. Then he says, basically he goes on and says, I was surprised by that step of announcing something over a year ahead of time, he said. The dynamics of the tech industry are such that there's a much heavier emphasis on immediate gratification than there was. A lot of it has to do with how Apple has very cleverly and elegantly managed the available now approach. So yes, that was a slight surprise to me. We experienced this ourselves when in 2013, very much in the line with our previous strategies, we announced a concept and name for a PlayStation 4, and everyone said, where's the box? How dare you? That was the point we realized, well, we hadn't changed, but the world around us had. And then he basically goes on, continues talking, but he's talking about, like, it's not a replacement and both machines will be supported throughout the PS4 lifecycle. He said, I don't think we're suggesting with Neo the conventional console lifecycle is over. It's certainly not making that statement. He said, I'm certainly not making that statement. This is an additional option. It's a high-end version of a PS4, and let's be very clear about that, rather than a generation shift. So he's basically saying it's a higher quality PS4, more power under the hood is basically how he's trying to put it. Some of our thinking was informed by changes that we have happened in broader tech landscape and the cadence of innovation to which the consumer is now attuned, particularly by smartphones. I'm not suggesting we want to bring the game industry to an 18-month, 2-year cycle, because then you would lose an awful lot of fixed platform benefits. We've enjoyed that allow for these really great leaps in game experience. So he's not a big fan of go on like an 18-month cycle and say, frick it, we got a new console. He's basically saying we love to have the console out, and this is kind of damage control, because he knows the PS4 is weak. He knows it's kind of on its last leg. Like, I have the launch PlayStation 4. It's not that powerful in tech world today. This is basically just an upgraded console to stay relevant with the times so they don't fall way behind like they did with the PS4 when they announced it in 2013. It was when it released at the end of the year, it was already dead on arrival. So he's basically saying we enjoy the console cycle, but basically these consoles are weak right now. So we're trying to give a replacement for consumers that want the best version out there. And he says if you're a person who just purchased a 4K television, maybe that's not much content around right now, so there's something interesting about games being able to fill that gap over the experience. Those are the fundamentals of Neo. Then he said, however, we did think there was an opportunity to reflect on the traditional life cycle and on 4K technology, and say maybe there's an opportunity within the course of a normal life cycle to offer something else, something a little bit better for the segment of the market that feels that is important. All right, we're almost done. He said a lot here. We knew that this year had to be an exceptionally good lineup of games to talk about, so why not get everything else out of the way and just talk about them? So we made it very video heavy, which they did. They didn't really sit there and talk and ramble on about random shit. They basically said, let the games do the talking, and they did. He said, we now think of these events as shows. It's about trying to strike the right balance between delivering information and entertaining people who are turning to watch from home. There were many announcements, but it also was hopefully entertaining. It was. The orchestra was pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. But like he said, he's kind of shocked that they announced it, but I'm really not. Microsoft, I know why they announced it. They basically are saying this is what it's gonna be, but then again, if you flip the coin, Microsoft might be hurting their own sales. People are gonna be like, well, fuck, I'm not gonna buy an Xbox One now. I'll get the Scorpio when it comes out. So Microsoft might have shot themselves in the foot there announcing that. It's almost like they tried to fill a gap because they didn't announce as many games as Sony. If you guys didn't know, Sony announced quite a few games. Microsoft didn't announce as many. So we'll have to see. And still on the same subject of Sony, apparently, Sony hopes PlayStation's Neo's better graphics will stop PS4 users from jumping to PC here. So basically, he said, we've traditionally seen that some of the core audience tends to gravitate back to high-end PCs at some point because there are people who want the finest graphical performance. So here's a great opportunity to have them stay within our ecosystem. All right, I see where he's coming from, but then I don't. All right. I totally agree. The Neo might stop people from saying, well, PS4 graphics are kind of taking a decline. Well, now we really don't need to. Now I'm just going to buy a PC because, I mean, I want the best graphics that I can possibly get. And I'm not getting it with the PS4, so I'm going to shell out the cash and build a PC. But the Neo might do that. I don't know if it's going to have true 4K gaming or anything like that. But it still might have significant texture upgrades and stuff with it. Depends upon the processor. I thought AMD came out and said, yeah, we're not going to have anything ready for consoles until like 2019. So this, I don't know. I don't know how accurate it is. All I know is the PlayStation 4 Neo and the Xbox Scorpio, codename, is basically a filler console to me. It's going to give us the best VR experience. So if you guys want PlayStation VR or the Oculus Rift with Microsoft, with the Xbox One, you're going to go out and buy that next year, those consoles, because you're going to get the better VR experience. Now, they're not saying you're forced to buy it because the VR will still work on your launch PlayStation 4. I don't know about the Xbox One, but Sony's basically saying, hey, VR is coming out, and it will work on your old PS4, but are you sure you don't want the new upgraded version, the shiny new one? Because we sure hope you do, because that means more money in our pockets. And this is the reason where Sony is going to lose everybody, is because you're, like I stated in a video a couple of videos ago, you spend $400 on your launch PS4, but then you're like, well, I'm not going to get the best VR experience. So then you want to get the Neo when it comes out next year, or whenever it comes out. And then you want the PlayStation VR. So you're at $1,200 in, plus the camera, which is another $1,250. You're into this thing. You could have built a PC and got a Rift for around $1,500. Do the math. I don't know. It's $300 difference or so. I don't know. That's here nor there. I went on a rant about that a while ago, a couple videos ago. But yeah, the Neo might actually drive people possibly going to PC, but I don't think it ever will, like, stop it. Because, I mean, PC is huge. Everybody, like, when you look at PC gaming, I've had mine since started PC gaming back in 2009, 2008, somewhere around there. I had a really good PC at that time. I've upgraded my PC multiple times. I got the 970. I got like 12 gigs of RAM because of the tri-channel memory. I got pretty much top of the line stuff right now. I got an i7. I mean, I'm looking to get the 1070 graphics card, but whatever. PC gaming isn't what it used to be. There's a lot of more PC gamers out there than there ever were before. And consoles, people always say, oh, consoles are dead. Consoles are dead. No, they're not. Is that why they have four? I own a PC, a high-end freaking PC. I own the freaking Vive, for crying out loud. All right? I still own both consoles. I have the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. I love them all. I love gaming. That's what I love to do. So consoles are not dead. That's why Sony sold 40 plus million. Xbox has sold at least 20 plus million, 25 plus million consoles. That's 70 or 65 million plus consoles between the two. Not too shabby. I could see, like, if consoles were just doing shitty and nobody bought them, but it's not. It's fine. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much all I want to talk about in this video today, guys. Make sure to like this video, comment, favorite, and subscribe, and follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook. I will talk to you guys again tomorrow.